3 years ago, I started my software company and we currently have over 3,000 clients. And today I want to share with you the steps I took to achieve it. Hello, my name is Juan Luis. I am the co-founder of Whaticket, a platform specialized in customer service. As of today, we have more than 30 employees, and I would like to share this journey I took. There are two. One is the right one and the other incorrect one. I took both paths, so I want to emphasize that you should only take the right path. So let's go to my screen. In context, for those who still don't know what a SaaS company or a software company is, it basically boils down to cloud services based on a subscription payment. Some examples are like Dropbox, Spotify, Netflix, Canva, or any service you use daily. Any subscription linked to technology which you do not need to install on your computer and everything is in the cloud. They are software or subscription-based businesses. That is SaaS. Why am I the right person to teach you this? Although it's true, on the internet you will find many resources, many authors, but each has their own perspective. From my point of view, after having done several software businesses, and most of them failed, I want to share this expertise that I have learned along the way. It has cost a lot, but I would like to share it with you, so not to keep myself only with myself. I created several companies related to software. The ones that have stood out the most, maybe we have appeared in some media, and perhaps some have seen it and others have not. They are two platforms that I created, right? In which we made many mistakes along with my partners. The first was Clinica Italia, a platform that connected professional doctors with patients. What we did was charge a subscription for setting up a platform. And the other was, which was also subscription based, a community of mothers where a mother could subscribe, receive premium content, tips, advice, medical information, and more. These two platforms have helped us learn what not to do and what to do. And here we go with the wrong way to create a software company. The first thing is not having a clear idea and no. Many times we start building based on our preferences, right? I start any project just to get started. And that, well, no, has an arrival, which is what we did in Italy, right? You know what we do? We didn't have a plan and a direction to go. And the second thing is to start developing a product without validating it and clearly based on your personal tastes. And this is what happened in being a mother. We started building, we believed that a function was liked by the mother. This she liked, she loved it. Everything was based on the experience and also on the tastes of my partners. And in the end, they didn't like it to anyone. And the third point is, if you have a technical profile, share a marketing agency, or if you have a more commercial profile, share a development agency without to have no direction, which is also what we did. We hired both an agency and a development company that charge you a lot of money. However, you keep building something you are not sure of, something that has never been validated. Point number 4, which is adding features without knowing the reason and not even have an analysis. Many times what you do is, okay, I don't have a client yet, but I'm going to add artificial intelligence, ChatGPT. Supposedly, you are adding value, but that's not the case. Another point is working for a specific client. What does this mean? You have a client who, in fact, we had a client in Ser Madri, and it was the only client who asked us for specific features for him. And indeed, we were working for that client, which should not be the case, because all the functions you add must be for the majority of your clients and must make an impact. And likewise, keep adding functions without a clear response. With this point is where most founders wanting to innovate or add new features, delay growth, and finally, this part, which is very delicate as well, and which we did, is hiring staff without having clear internal processes. You hire developers, marketing people, but when you hire them, they don't know what to do. They do things their own way, but they don't have direction, they don't have a clear route. Now let's go through the correct way that has worked for me and has currently brought us to where we are. I present to you in our projects, we call it My Son Whaticket. In fact, this project originates from Multi WhatsApp, which was the initial brand. Then we got together with my Brazilian partners and we merged Multi WhatsApp and Whaticket. Now it's just one. And with the involvement of 2 Peruvians and 2 Brazilians, this platform was born, which is where we apply all the mistakes we had made in previous projects. And in fact, we are still making mistakes, but we continue learning and improving. So I built a step-by-step process how we followed a path that has led us to scale our software company. These steps are not set in stone. Remember that each project is different, but take it as a matrix to start your business. The first thing, if you are going to have a software business, make sure you have at least 6 months of salary to focus on the project. Because what will happen is that when you start, there will be so much pressure that you will have, there's no money, I can't get paid, you will post a project, look for freelance jobs, look for jobs out there, and you will stall the project. I am not saying to have a luxurious life, but have just enough to survive. If you don't have this, believe me, the project will progress more slowly. And the second thing is to study the basic business concepts. And this applies to all types of business. What are the basic concepts? Accounting, marketing, finance, human resources, and better yet, technology. Because the curse of your business, if you're in software, will be technology. I'm not saying you should master it, but you should have the basic concepts so that you will not be lost. Once you have those basic concepts, it is important to know what you are going to sell and to whom you are going to sell it. If this is not clear, believe me, you will sell to anyone and you won't even know what to sell. Very clear. What you are going to sell and to whom you are going to sell. When we started Whaticket, we knew that we were going to sell to small businesses that have these customer service difficulties through WhatsApp and especially the automation. Our clients are small businesses with more than 2 employees and served through WhatsApp. No, for sure there is no one else. You have to be clear about that because it's what you will communicate even to the people you will sell your idea to or even to the team you will recruit. As the next important step, you have to validate your idea and forget about all the legal aspects, branding. Because if you haven't validated your business, the rest does not exist. Many times, entrepreneurs or people starting in the software world worry about the legal part, the branding, the nice design, etc. without having the product validated first. As a result, for example, if you focus on branding, legal aspects, the company's formation, and so on, you will lose focus instead of concentrating on marketing and selling your idea. Because all of this is the legal part. And everything I am telling you, branding is a process and takes work, and especially time and money. And this is my favorite, which is the part of your MVP. At this point, there usually are. And based on my experience, there are 2 types of profiles. One is the technical type, and the other is non-technical. In this case, they might have other skills, right? For example, a lawyer building a system to automate legal processes. Accountant. These types are not technical because they are not going to develop the software. But this doesn't mean that neither of them can do it. So if you are technical, start creating your MVP as quickly and roughly as possible to sell it. Are you going to save money? Yes. And if you are not technical, like me, find a similar product and sell that idea to your first clients. Then create your MVP. Why do I tell you this? When we are not technical, developing the MVP is much more expensive. Why or what? If the MVP needs a developer, it needs a team to put it together. There are even companies that can do it for you, but in my experience, the cost is very high. Develop your MVP. If you can do it yourself, great. Once you have created your MVP, set a clear goal. That is, how many customers do I need to sell to validate this? What I build. Normally, I always tell the people who hire me for consulting or advisory services that once you have the minimum MVP, sell to 10 clients. If 10 clients are paying, it's time to leave the MVP and already build a product. And there are always some who say one never stops being an MVP. Yes, you never stop being an MVP, but you have to see that the MVP is also unstable, and you have to give that maturity to your product. And precisely who gives that maturity is when your clients start paying the subscription for your product. Unless those 10 clients are your family, your girlfriend, your friends, that is a completely unreliable piece of data because they only buy from you, not to say it, out of pity, to support you. So they need to be clients who genuinely use your product or service. Now, when you already have traction, it's time to start worrying about the legal part, the structure. All of your company, if it's going to be an LLC, if it's going to be, registered in your country, in another country, the whole legal part. At this point, you need professionals to help with all the advice from the constitution, the partnership, if it will be in a holding company, a corporation, what do I know. This is where you should really be concerned for all the legal aspects, and especially the branding, right? Branding, making your project very serious. And yes, at this point, you should already have investors, capital, because it will cost you to create a good structure to scale your business. It is important that you document all your department's procedures and internal processes, because without this, you cannot hire and scale. And scaling refers to having more team members, having more people producing and contributing to your project. But if you don't have this documentation, the people who come in will not know how it works, what it's for, where we're going, what we do, who we sell to, nothing. Document everything you're doing, and for this you can use tools like Notion. And finally, to scale, you need to delegate. And to whom are you going to delegate? Well, to the leaders. Leaders are the people who will be in charge of a specific department, and these leaders will manage people. Okay, if you have the marketing department, sales, customer service or support, technology department, human resources, finances, you're going to adapt that according to the needs of your company. If, let's say, you're growing exponentially, then you need all the departments. Or if you see that growth is not as you think, then certain departments are needed, and the rest of the services you can outsource to freelancers, companies or agencies. To reach 100 clients, you need flexible profiles. In what sense? Profiles that are not specialists, because these will allow you to have this flexibility. I'll give you an example. If you hire a marketing person, at a minimum, they should know all aspects of marketing. SEO, SM, apps, Facebook, content, etc. And to reach 1,000 clients, here you do need specialists. No longer generalists, because you already have 100 clients and they are validated. So here you need specialists, because they are the ones who will help you reach 1,000 clients. Now, 10,000 is, I am on the path, so when I reach 10,000, I'll tell you what kind of profiles you need. I have some recommendations for you to read and study. For example, in the case of books, 0 to 1 by Peter Thiel, in this book, covers how to build a software company from scratch, how to hire staff, and more. It has many resources. I also recommend the book Blitzscaling. This is a guide to scaling businesses. I'm not going to recommend many books. Specifically, if you are starting in the software world, read those two books. On YouTube channels, to Master Mario Armenta, he taught me all this about scaling companies, creating, selling. He's an expert, has a YouTube channel about. I realized the whole story of how he created his software company, sold it. You also have Ignacio Arriaga. He is a Spanish founder of the company Acumba Mail, and he has a newsletter that he sends weekly, if I'm not mistaken, with strategies about business of software. We also have the Bare Minimo channel. He teaches you how to sell software to B2B, B2C companies, and more. Yeah, in fact, he also has courses, but the videos he already has help you a lot. Published. And at the level of blogs, websites, communities, Saster.com, you're going to find manuals, success stories, content, interviews, much more. So if you are into software, this page is for you. A little smoke, motivation, indiehackers.com. There you will find stories, people who are creating their projects, documenting and sharing in this community. And for the part about growth, hacking growth, I recommend Forobeta. This is where you will make transactions, and here you can hire SEOs, freelancers, and more. Here you will find many resources, tutorials, and more. And finally, the old reliable Fiverr. And this is where you're going to hire designers, marketers, right? Specifically. And in fact, when you start a project, all the work was Fiverr. Yeah? So if you have more questions regarding software companies, legal matters, branding, growth, hiring staff, motivation, whatever, leave them in the comments and I will be responding to you. So see you in the next video.